TuneIn says, I don't think the Cavs should trade no one. I am more confident in this squad going past the trade deadline than last season when we knew we should have did something but didn't. We got options now. Yeah, and I was saying this on social just earlier today or yesterday. I am at a point right now where I do not believe that this team has to do anything, and I'm okay with that. And I could not say that in previous seasons, including last year, where I felt like the Cavs probably should do something, but I was also okay if they didn't, as long as they went the buyout, the buyout route, which is also an option this year. If somebody gets dropped and they kind of fit what we have going on here, I would assume that Kobe Altman will be working all angles. I am not expecting a move at this deadline, although we know with Kobe, anything is possible in that regard, a move on the margins. I know that there's report after report that, teams are interested in Isaac Okoro. That is not going to happen, right? We're not giving Isaac up. And I get that the contractual obligations are something to take note of, right? Him entering restricted free agency and the tax implications that it could have for this team moving forward. Those are all things that should concern people, but that should not worry you enough to think that the Cavs are going to move on from Isaac Okoro midseason. It's just not going to happen. And so with that, the only other guy that I could possibly see maybe drawing interest is Caris LeVert. And I don't think they would be agreeable to moving him short of a small haul, considering what he's been able to bring to this Cavaliers bench. So I don't think there is a move out there that needs to be made. I see Forever King down here just mentioned the backup big spot. He says the only thing I could see them doing is trying to get a backup big, depending upon how you feel about Damian, who has been solid. I don't know what will happen with Tristan. And so this is what I believe, King. I feel like Tristan Thompson, he's now, what's it been, 3 or 4 games since he's been suspended? He'll be back, and I think it was March 16th? It's a pretty far out date, but he'll be back before the regular season ends. And he was giving really good minutes, and we know why that probably was with the PEDs he was taking, but I still think he has something left in the tank to give. In regards to Damian Jones, I feel like the Cavs, at the reality of the situation is it's completely dependent upon the matchups, right? There are going to be nights like tonight where Damian Jones really I don't think he actually, but no, Damian played 3 minutes. The Cavs are not always going to play with a true backup 5 with Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen back out there. It's just not going to happen because they have the benefit of going small. When you can play Niang, when you can play Wade, and both of those guys can knock down the 3 ball, although Niang is slumping heavily right now. And then you got Sam Merrill out there, and you got Karras and Okoro, right? Guys who are capable of knocking down the 3-point shot. Playing a traditional 5 who cannot consistently space the floor off your bench is not something that's going to have to happen every single night outside of a matchup-based purpose, right? If you're playing the New York Knicks, a team that employs Mitchell Robinson when healthy and Isaiah Hartenstein, guys like that with true big body types, yeah, it helps to have Tristan, it helps to have Damian out there. But if you can help it, more often than not, it probably behooves the Cavs to not play those guys because they have guys who can play in their stead, right? You can stagger the Allen and Mobley minutes around that so that you have a true center on the floor at all times if need be. And that's just the way I feel about it. I don't think the Cavs even have to address that because I just don't think it would be worth what you would be shipping out. I think you just, let everybody get healthy, let DG, let Evan head into the All-Star break and lift their minutes restrictions and see what you have and hammer out your rotations as the season moves forward. Because the reality of the situation is not everybody who deserves minutes is going to be able to play, but that's not a bad thing. It is far from a bad thing because that just means that this team is deep and that you can get away with a lot of different looks, especially if certain guys are not on certain nights.